All right, my friends. I seem to have caught some of you with the posture correction things. I do apologize for that. But we are ready with our next round. We're going to keep this Pixar train rolling. So get cozy, get comfy. We are ready for A Bug's Life, any percent with Spagettd. Let's crawl on over to that.
Hello, everybody. My name is Spagettd or Spagettd, and today I'm going to be running A Bug's Life. This is the N64 version. So this one actually came out on N64, PS1, and PC. But we're going to be doing the N64 version today. There's also a Game Boy Color version, but we don't talk about that one. Timer is going to start once I click on this level here. So in 3, 2, 1, go. This game was made by Traveler's Tales. They're known now for their Lego games, but before they were doing other movie tie-ins like Toy Story 2, this game, and a bunch of other stuff, a lot of Super Nintendo things as well. But this was their first 3D platformer that they made, and it's pretty short. That's the first level. We just skipped most of that level by jumping over that fence there. I guess they were still getting used to level design in a 3D scape, so they didn't realize you can skip things like that. Most of these levels in this game are pretty short. You kind of just go from point A to point B. There's a few levels where we have to collect certain things before we could beat the level, and then there's also going to be some boss levels. But like I said, since it is one of their first 3D games, it is pretty simple. There's not too many mechanics in this game. If you see on the bottom right corner of the screen, there's a mushroom. If we find these like token upgrades, kind of like that green one you see up here, we can upgrade the plants that we have. And so that mushroom gets upgraded to like a bigger mushroom that lets us jump higher and reach certain things. That's what those like glowing seed things are on the ground. But we don't really use any of them because like you saw me do earlier, I kind of just jumped off the wall and crossed that gap without having to like upgrade our plants. So you can do a lot of platforming skips by doing stuff like that. This one we actually will take advantage of. So you're gonna get to see what it does there. But basically you upgrade those. There's also like a plant one that you get, and it's basically the same thing, just used so you can access higher areas. But most of the time you can kind of just jump off of collision to cross certain gaps. There's also a mechanic with our berries. We do have these red berries we can throw to hurt enemies. Some enemies have like more defense, you could say, and they don't get hurt by the red berries, so we have to find the blue tokens, so we can upgrade our berries to the blue ones, and then those actually do take damage, which we will have to do in some levels. All of the bosses require a blue token or a blueberry to be able to take damage. So you'll see me grab the blueberry here for our first boss. And it's this crazy grasshopper. I don't know if you guys remember the movie, but this dude was like all flaky and scary. Yeah, but this is... Yeah. There you go.
I'm gonna be so transparent. When I was a kid, I was like, because there was also that actor Dennis Hopper. I crossed those wires in my head and was like, Dennis Hopper voices Hopper, and that's not correct. I want everybody to know that, in case anybody else thought that.
That's like pretty sound little kid logic, though.
Yeah, it's like I knew who that actor was, and that character's Hopper, therefore.
Yeah, he was made for that role. This level here, we're just crossing this giant chasm, I guess, with the little flower piece. Dandelion, right? Yeah, dandelion.
Dandelion.
If you
that word, but correct. Yes.
Yeah. If you accidentally hit the ground here, then we get swooped up by a giant bird and it eats us. It doesn't show us get eaten, but you can only assume. But we don't have to worry about that. Super easy. Like I said, a lot of these levels just point A to point B, and we're out. There's obviously more stuff you can do in that level, because there's like flick tokens you can see on this screen here. There's like seeds and then the golden berry. And that's just like if you want to do like 100% completion. They don't really do anything. This is the first level where it's like, if you run this game, this is like the first reset heavy level. There's like actual like tricks and movement and stuff involved in this one that can cost you a lot of time. Hopefully we can get them relatively quickly. The first one is to skip this gap here. We can time our double jump, which I didn't get there. But this, what we're supposed to do here is, oh, there we go. We're supposed to grab those berries that I was mentioning and carry one all the way over there so we can jump across. But if you time your double jump, you can kind of cross that little gap, which is kind of nice. Same thing here. We're not upgrading our berries because that's slow, because we have to go find those little tokens. So instead, we're going to do what the community likes to call crack jump. You'll see why in a second. You can kind of just like wedge yourself into the wall. Come on.
I'm pretty sure this is how bouldering in real life works. I'm like pretty sure. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's just doing what ants do. They kind of just crawl up stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're just making the game more accurate in real life.
Yeah, exactly. It's lore accurate. This one is kind of the same concept, but it doesn't use the mushroom, so it's a little harder to get. This one's a little more precise. Sometimes it works first try, sometimes it works a minute later. We'll see. It does feel also like camera dependent, so I try to adjust my camera till it wedges me, which that's too low. There we go. So that skips the entirety of the level because we were supposed to run around to other areas and find those those plant upgrades so that we can reach those top parts. But if we do that, we can get across. It's a pretty cool trick, and that is N64 exclusive, by the way. So if you were to run this on PC or PlayStation, you would have to do most of the level.
So do you have to get the letters that spell out flick? Or
No, they don't do anything. Honestly, I don't even know what they do, but I know they don't do anything. If anything, they probably just like games back then, they probably just unlock like a cutscene or something that you can watch.
Yeah. Back at that point,
crazy.
it's like collected, and you're like, why? And they're like, I don't know.
Yeah, because it's fun. This is our next boss. It's the bird that could have eaten us in the other level. So like I mentioned, we grabbed this blueberry here. And then we just smack it a bunch of times with the berry. Another thing I didn't mention at the other boss level is once you defeat the boss, you can actually exit and you don't have to watch that cutscene. It counts it as completed as soon as their health drops, so you can just leave without having to watch the cutscene. Just kind of
nice.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. Something that they carry over into Toy Story 2 as well. We do that all the time. You just preemptively leave levels. This level also has another N64 exclusive glitch, which I won't be doing because it's really hard, and it was just found like 3 weeks ago, two or 3 weeks ago. Yeah, it was an out of bounds. So there's an out of bounds for this level that's pretty sick, and I tried learning it, but I didn't have enough time to practice that, so I wouldn't be doing it today. But essentially for this level, we have to collect the seeds, which we haven't done yet, but every enemy drops seeds for the most part, or you just find them on the ground. But we're supposed to grab a certain amount of seeds to progress through this level. There's like a gate blocking this, and so for this first gate or door, we need 10 grain. So we're gonna grab 10 grain and then go to the next door. And then there's going to be the next door needs 20 grain, so we'll grab 20 there. And then thankfully for the 30 grain door, we actually can't skip that one. The new skip that was found skips all of them because you go out of bounds at the very beginning of this level, and you literally just like are underneath the map and you just go all the way to the end. It's pretty hard to do though, so unfortunately I can't show that off. But if you guys are interested in seeing what it looks like, the current world record does do it in their run, which is really cool. Shouts out to Thermal Square for that one.
You're telling me that we are still finding tech in a game from 1998?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. I love stuff like that where it's like, you're like, yeah, it's from like 98. It's got to be like optimized at this point. No. No, we found something new.
there was supposed to be a spider there. I don't know where he disappeared to, so instead I'm just gonna grab this guy. That's super weird. I might have accidentally squished him when I landed on the ground. That's another thing. So if you like jump on an enemy, they won't drop their grain for some reason. There he is. I might have accidentally jumped on him when I jumped off of that box earlier. But that's a weird thing. Like if you jump on an enemy, they won't drop their grain. It just kind of disappears. But either way, we're through that door. So this next one, we're not going to collect the grain. Another thing I've been doing too that I haven't mentioned is there's certain boxes like this where you can jump on their collision and you can kind of just get an extra jump. And we're going to do that a bunch of times in the next level. It's like right there. Where am I? Okay. We're going to do that a bunch in the next level, and we're also going to do it here.
I need more grain.
So yeah, if you there's like certain boxes where you can just kind of rub against, and then he gets like extra jumps.
I need more grain.
And this is the 30 grain door skip that I mentioned earlier. It can be kind of tricky sometimes, but
I believe in you. Chat believes in you.
One thing about jumping on the boxes and doing that, there we go, doing that skip is that you have to do it like in a certain like timing. Otherwise he just does his double jump, which is not really a double jump, it's like a butt stomp or ground pound or whatever. So that could be kind of annoying. We're going to be doing it a lot though in this next level. This next level, I'm sounding like a broken record now, but this is also an N64 exclusive glitch. N64 version is really jank in a good way. So we're supposed to talk to all the circus bugs, the ones you see on the screen at the top right there. Every time you talk to one, it plays a little cutscene of you talking to them, and it's unskippable and it takes a while. But if we ground pound, as long as we keep ground pounding, we can store that cutscene and we can go and talk to every other bug. So, oh dang it, he wasn't ground pounding there. Well, I got one. We'll try to see if we can get the other ones, but as you can see, the cutscene takes a minute. But then if you look at the top of the screen, the first bug is not there anymore, so it counted him. Ideally, you would want to ground pound onto every enemy, or sorry, not enemy, every circus bug, so that you can store all the cutscenes. And there we go. And then you would only see Manny's at the end there, and then be able to skip it. So it's pretty cool. It makes the level really fast because each one of those cutscenes is pretty long. And then we did more of that box jumping, of course. Cool. And if you haven't noticed, there's a theme on the level design. It's always 2 platforming levels and then 1 boss level. The reason I jumped and grabbed that golden berry there is because this boss here, he can only be hurt by blueberries. We start with the red one, but they don't drop red. He doesn't drop any blueberries. There's one across the can on that side, but the golden one is closer to us. And basically we just need that to be able to deal damage to him. I usually end up dying here once, but it's not a big deal. I don't know if you guys have remember that movie or this movie, but that scene's pretty funny when they're in the bar and there's like a mosquito getting drunk on a drop of blood. I always remember that scene.
This movie there's a lot of like really like small moments of like either like a quick like aside or just like little details like that are,
yeah,
it's really funny. I mean, there's a reason that this movie was so beloved.
Yeah, it's definitely like one of the classic Pixar's, which I'm surprised they never did a second one. I tried going for a skip here, which I don't totally have down, but basically what I was trying to do here, I got like half of it, so I should be stuck in a cutscene right now, but what I did there was I ground pounded to store the cutscene, and then I ran over to a little telescope. There's these telescopes in the game, like there. It's that floating thing. I jumped over to it, which starts another cutscene, and it basically just let me move during that first cutscene. So I'm able to grab that bird piece earlier. Normally, the faster way to do that is when you go and combine those two cutscenes. Not only do you skip the first one and you can walk during it, but you also accidentally clip into the ground, and then that becomes another out of bounds skip. And you would do like the majority of this level out of bounds, which is pretty cool, and it avoids having to get some of these like seed upgrades that I'm getting right now. Because what we're supposed to do in this level, if you see at the top of the screen, we're supposed to grab these bird pieces. If you were to go out of bounds, you would be able to grab pretty much all of them without having to upgrade our seeds or our plants. But I couldn't do it, so we're just gonna do it the semi-intended way. This is still a skip because we're supposed to upgrade this even more. But we can kind of just line up our cannon shooter here, if I can get in it, to shoot us across onto this top platform here.
Oh my god, game.
I know. There we go. And I missed. Okay, cool. We'll try it again. Yeah, it's like really jank because you're not supposed to do it like that, but
It's like, no, I don't want you doing this.
yeah. And then we're gonna do it again here. We're supposed to talk to Slim and Francis, which are the other circus bugs, to get us that top piece up there, so we can shoot ourselves into it like this. And
Nice.
yeah, just skip that one. So it's still faster than the intended way. And just like that, we're kind of close to the end of the game. I would say we're about like 80%. Yeah.
Wow. This one, I'm sorry to make this joke because I'm being totally serious, but this one literally does fly by.
Yeah, it does. Like I said, it's one of their earliest games, so it almost feels like a tech demo in a way, because they're still trying to figure out how to make 3D levels.
Yeah, this was back when, like, I feel like a lot of consoles early on, especially like just, you know, E2000s and stuff like that, or like even early 2000s. That's back when they made video games where it was just like, what does your game do? And you're like, I don't know. You just do stuff.
Yeah, you can run and jump in a 3D environment. You're like, oh, it has cutscenes. Whoa.
Yeah, like it's like, are we gonna do anything with that? No.
that's the whole shtick right there.
We made a game where you do that.
Yeah. In this level, we have to find all these. I forgot what they're called. They're basically like Girl Scouts. They have like a funny bug theme name. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah. Chat, help us out.
Yeah, but we have to find all of them and then reach the top of the tree. Unfortunately, we can't skip these cutscenes. It would have been really cool because there's a bunch of them, but it's fine.
Yeah, because they're like the little like ant Girl Scouts, and
yeah,
one of them is like the younger sister
of the princess. Yeah.
Yeah. And, like all the like little ones, like I think they control the bird and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like the plot of this movie is coming back to me more than the plot of Ratatouille was. But in my defense, I saw this movie as a young child, so I think it's like burned in there.
Yeah, it's ingrained into your memory.
Oh yeah.
Grain joke. Reflecting the grain.
We've got a lot of those, and not all of them are intentional.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wonder if part of the reason, not to like start the discourse, but like I wonder if part of the reason they didn't make like A Bug's Life 2 is because there was that movie that was almost the same movie made by different studios.
Oh, Ants.
Yeah.
Ants, the Steven Spielberg one. Yes.
This is significantly better than Ants, like in my opinion. Sorry, Steven Spielberg.
One of my friends he would die on that anthill that he thinks Ants is better. It looks like it's Blueberry Scouts. This is the name of them.
Blueberry Scouts. That makes sense. We've been grabbing blueberries.
Yeah.
But forgive me for not remembering. Yeah, no, this is better than Ants. Sound off in chat.
Super berry.
This is another boss level. So we need, like I mentioned earlier, we need the blueberries, right, to deal damage. We're gonna specifically stand in this area because there's a little like roof over our head, a little canopy type thing, because
That's not nice.
I don't know if you can see it right now, but basically there's a bunch of ants around us on the outside of the map, and they're all throwing red berries at us. It's their way of like helping us. They're like, here's a berry, but like the red berry does no damage, so it actually hurts us. If we touch those red berries, then we end up just having to go and upgrade our berry again to deal damage. So while they're trying to be helpful, they're actually hurting us. So we go and stand under that little canopy so that when they throw those berries, they don't actually touch us. It's pretty funny.
I love that.
Cool. And then this level has a pretty nice skip as well. So we are going to upgrade some of our plants right now. As you can see right there, I grabbed 2 tokens. We have to upgrade our berry shooter into like a homing missile berry shooter so that we can hit Hopper because he's flying above us. But we're not going to upgrade it to that last berry shooter because there's a faster way of dealing damage to him. If we upgrade it to the one right before the homing one, then we can still hit him with that one. It's kind of jank, but it is faster. It is a little bit RNG though, as far as like actually landing hits on him. So this is also like a run killer. You can either like save like over 10 seconds or lose like 20. So I can just get off of that plant there. Okay, so we upgraded to this one, so it's not the one we need, but we can still make do. If we pick it up and carry it up here, hopefully the berries just line up correctly so that we can shoot Hopper. But like I said, this part is kind of RNG, and a lot of runs have died here. Just because, as you can tell right now, I'm not hitting him at all. Okay, I got 1 shot, and I believe he takes 9 hits, so there we go. Okay, after the 3rd one, he does fly down a little bit lower, and then it should hit him every time. But you can see there at the beginning, I did miss a few of those shots, so that would have lost us some time in the run. Oh, I didn't even notice she was down already. She's like waiting for me.
Chilling, yeah,
Yeah.
hanging out.
Okay, this next level is kind of a pain, especially on the N64. So, there's like these like raindrops that are just falling on screen, and it makes the level really laggy and like really hard to see. There's also enemies that spawn in front of you, and you don't see them until like the last second. So like a lot of the times you end up taking damage by them. But what sucks about this level is if you die, there's no checkpoint. You have to redo the entire level again. And what sucks even more is that we're actually trying to grab these grain, because in this level only, if you grab a grain, it gives you a little speed boost. So you actually move a little bit quicker. So I'm trying to grab as many as I can without taking any damage. But if you die, not only do you go back to the beginning of the level, the grain doesn't respawn either. So then you have to redo it even slower.
That's brutal.
Yeah, so it's just GG's if you lose this level. So yeah, I usually try to concentrate as much as possible here, so forgive me if I go quiet for a second.
No worries.
If there's anything you'd like to read though, you can go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. I would like to remind everybody that we do have those bid war, that bid war open. And our next run, so as we're closing out of this one, our next run is going to be your final call for submissions for that Undertale bid war. So it is creeping up on you that, you know, if you have some ideas for a name and you'd like that name to get traction for the Fallen Child, you have basically the end of this run and one run to do it. So just keep that in mind, everybody. If you want to manipulate that, add a new name for the Fallen Child, you can type !donate in chat. And let me get those names for y'all really quick. That unhinged name list. All right. So in the lead, we have Chat. And then after that is Shork, Alice, Child, Beefy, Zabor, Beppis, Matpat, and Valid. So if you like one of those and you want to turn the tide, or you want to submit your own, you don't have much time for it to like gain that traction. And chat is in the lead at $118, so you got some room to make up for.
Nice. Dang it. I keep missing this berry grab here. We're on the last level, by the way. This last level is a boss fight slash like a platforming level. There we go. So we grab the blueberry because, you know, we need that to deal damage to the bosses. And we go over here to Hopper. This level is also kind of hard to see because of the raindrops, but it's not as bad as the other one. You can only deal like one tick of damage to him, and then he moves on to the next area. If you keep hitting him, it won't actually deal damage, and it'll end up slowing you down because he like kind of stops for a little bit when you hit him. But he always flies into the same areas, so I already know like basically where to go. So we'll hit him, I just watch to see if his health drops, and then I'll go to the next area. I should be able to reach him here without actually jumping over there. There we go. Dang it. But he's like shooting me with stuff too, so it's pretty chaotic, this level. Let's see.
And these raindrops are a lot of visual noise. I know that it's like, oh, rain is big for bugs and everything like that, but like this is a lot to take in.
Yeah, like I said earlier, like it kind of like lags the level a little bit, and it doesn't help that I'm having to like jump on these like little platforms. So I do fall. I fell again, but I did hit him, so we can move on to the next area. I don't know if this is just like me like on copium, but like because of the rain, I feel like he's like slippery, so I like slide off of these platforms too. I don't know if there's any truth to that. I never looked into it, but I swear the floor is like wet. He keeps sliding.
I can't believe that. There's obvious like visual references to that and like the plot and everything.
Right.
So that makes sense to me.
Yeah, we'll just go with that.
Yeah.
You're mine, Ant.
So yeah, we were chasing him up this little hill. Let's see. And then if I can hit him, yeah, just hit him once, and then he'll go on to the next area. You can't really like lock on or anything in this game, so you have to just, if you're too close, you have to just, you know, just back up and try to align yourself a little bit better. There's no real way of like locking on to them, unfortunately. You kind of just have to get a feel for like where you're supposed to stand.
I do appreciate that your berries are unlimited though, that you're not having to do ammo management this.
Oh, that would have sucked, yeah.
Yeah.
But we're actually already at the end here. Time is coming up once his health reaches 0 and the little cutscene plays. And he gets eaten by the bird. So we'll see that in a second.
Oh yeah! Help
Time.
Nice.
There he goes, getting gruesomely eaten by a bird.
Amazing.
Pretty awesome. And then Flick's
Pretty
face,
metal.
the way he
Like,
watches, I'm just, he's dead.
The thumbs up.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know that was the right reaction to have.
Right.
No.
You do you. But yeah, that's A Bug's Life. Thank you guys for watching. It's a pretty short run. It's pretty fun. If you're interested in running it, there is a Discord for it. You can find it on speedrun.com. Everybody in there is pretty nice. There's a few tutorials for it as well. If you want the super jank version, I recommend running the N64 version. There's even an emulator version of it that has its own leaderboard if you don't want to deal with the lag but still do the cool tricks. So you can do that too. But yeah, if you guys want to watch more licensed game speedruns, that's kind of my shtick over on my channel, Spagettd. So you guys can watch me there if you like. Stick around for the rest of the marathon. It's been super cool to be a part of it. And yeah, just enjoy the rest of the night.
Awesome. Thank you so much. This is super cool. I love being shown games like this. Like, so thank you so much for being here and for donating your time and your skills. So we really, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, everybody, we are going to get set up for our next run. Give another round of applause for Spagettd for absolutely crushing that run. Okay, maybe not crushing. We don't want to say that because of bugs and stuff like that. But, like, the point is, you did amazing. So, fantastic job. Send your love. We'll be back in just a moment when we get set up All right, everybody. I hope that you are having a phenomenal time. You can look at the schedule, and I see some of you getting hype about this in chat. That yes, Blinks the Time Sweeper is going to be our next run, and I'm super excited about that because, like, I mentioned this at like the top of the stream, but like I feel like I've seen this little kitty everywhere, like in like a bunch of different whenever they show like video game character like compilations and stuff like that, and I'm like, who is that? So I know that this is a game that people are really passionate about and really interested in. And I'm excited to experience it along with y'all because it looks really, really cool and it's gonna be really, really fun. And we're gonna have like a whole hour looking at it. Well, under an hour, because I believe that Nico DS is gonna be pretty darn quick. I don't know if you've heard this, but you know, this is a speed running marathon. And speaking of it being a speed running marathon, let me explain to you what's going on here. So this is a speedrunning marathon for mutual aid, benefiting our friend Alice as she prepares for gender-affirming surgery in February 2025. We're going to be live on this channel every day from Wednesday, October 16th through Sunday, October 20th. Stay tuned to see some amazing runs, and if you want to see our full schedule, you can type !schedule in chat.